Afternoon light filters through the windows of Flight 1247's first-class cabin. Leather seats, polished armrests, the faint hum of pre-flight air conditioning. Diana West sits in 8A window seat, eyes half closed. Her jacket is faded olive green, frayed at the cuffs. Her jeans are clean but old. No jewelry, no designer bag. Just a small duffel wedged under the seat in front of her. She doesn't look up when the boarding door closes. Just sits hands folded in her lap, breathing slowly. In for 4. Hold for 4. Out for 4. Nobody notices. But Grant Harlan does notice the seat she's in. He's in 6C aisle. Expensive watch. Tailored suit. He twists in his seat, looking back at Diana. "Excuse me, miss." Diana doesn't respond. Grant raises his voice. "Miss, in 8A." She opens her eyes slowly, looks at him without expression. "Are you sure you're in the right section?" Silence. A woman in 7A. Vanessa Cole-Blond, highlight silk scarf, leans into the aisle. "I was wondering the same thing. This is first class." Grant smiles. Not kindly. "Right. So maybe there's been a mix-up." From 2 rows back, a younger man, Kyle Brennan, mid-30s, phone already out, angles his camera toward Diana. The red record light blinks. "Hey, everyone," Kyle mutters into his phone, grinning. "You seeing this lady in 8A? First class, looking like she just got off a Greyhound." Paige Scott, the lead flight attendant, appears from the galley. Professional smile, but her eyes are tight. "Is there a problem, Mr. Harlan?" Grant gestures vaguely at Diana. "I'm just wondering if there's been some kind of seating error. We pay a lot of money for this cabin." Paige's smile doesn't falter. "Ms. West purchased a first-class ticket, sir. She's exactly where she should be." West. Vanessa repeats like the name itself is suspicious. Kyle zooms in on Diana's face. She hasn't moved, hasn't blinked, just staring out the window. Grant leans back, shaking his head. Unbelievable. Probably an upgrade mistake. He raises his voice. "With that outfit, I seriously doubt she paid full fare." A man across the aisle, Derek Quinn, thick neck arms crossed, snorts. "Yeah, doesn't exactly scream first class, does it?" Vanessa pulls out her phone, snaps a photo of the back of Diana's head. "I'm posting this. People need to know what's happening to airline standards." Diana's right hand twitches, just once. A tremor so brief that if you weren't watching closely, you'd miss it. But she doesn't turn around, doesn't defend herself. The engines spool up. The cabin lights dim slightly as the plane begins to roll. Diana's eyes shift just for a second to the emergency exit 2 rows behind her, then to the overhead panel, then back to the window. Her breathing stays even. 4 in, 4 hold, 4 out. Nobody sees her count the seconds between the rattles of the landing gear. Nobody sees her fingers brush the seatbelt, checking the tension, the angle, the 5-point phantom habit of someone who's worn a harness 1,000 times. The plane turns onto the runway. The engines roar, and Diana West closes her eyes again, her lips moving silently. Squawk 7700. Nobody hears her. Not yet. The takeoff is smooth, textbook. Flight 1247 climbs into a pale gray sky. Diana keeps her eyes closed through the entire ascent. Her hands rest on the armrests, fingers loose. But if you looked closely, you'd see the faint calluses on her right index and middle fingers. The kind you get from gripping something hard over and over for years. The seatbelt sign chimes off. Around her first class comes alive. Vanessa pulls out her laptop. Grant orders a whiskey neat. Kyle scrolls through his phone, smirking at the comments piling up on his live stream. Who is she? Deaf doesn't belong there, lol. Bet she got a free upgrade. Diana opens her eyes, stares out the window at the cloud layer below. Her reflection in the glass is faint. Tired eyes, a thin scar just visible at her hairline. Paige approaches with a tray. "Ms. West, can I get you something to drink?" Diana glances up, shakes her head once. "You sure water juice?" I'm fine, thank you. Her voice is quiet, steady, flat, like someone who's gotten very good at not drawing attention. Grant watches from 2 rows up. He leans toward Vanessa. See that won't even take a drink. Probably doesn't know what to order. Vanessa hides a smile. Or she's scared they'll charge her. Derek chuckles. Bet she's never flown first class in her life. Kyle angles his phone, zooming in on Diana's duffel bag under the seat. It's olive green military style with a frayed strap and a faded patch near the zipper. Too worn to read clearly. Kyle mutters into his camera, "Look at that bag. Seriously, this lady's flying first class with a duffel." Diana doesn't react. She reaches down, unzips a side pocket, and pulls out a small pill bottle. The label is turned away, but her hands are steady as she twists the cap, shakes out 2 tablets, and dry swallows them. Vanessa's eyes widen. "Oh my God, is she—" "Probably anxiety meds." Grant says loud enough for half the cabin to hear. Kyle's camera is still on her. "This is gold." Diana puts the bottle back, zips the pocket, folds her hands in her lap, and then so quietly that only someone trained would notice she begins to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Her eyes track the window, the wings, the faint vibration in the fuselage. It's not nervous counting. It's rhythmic, deliberate, like she's measuring something. In 12F, a man in his late 60s adjusts his reading glasses. Harold Peterson, retired Air Force, 26 years of service. He's looking at Diana, specifically at the way she's sitting. Shoulders square, spine straight, feet flat on the floor. The way she checked the overhead bin when she sat down, quick, efficient, no wasted movement. The way her eyes keep flicking to the exit row. Harold knows that posture. He's seen it in briefing rooms, in cockpits. He frowns, leans forward slightly. A woman next to him, Dr. Catherine Reed, early 40s, calm demeanor, notices something wrong. Harold doesn't look away from Diana. Maybe I'm just getting old and paranoid. About what? He pauses. That woman up in 8A. Catherine glances forward. What about her, the way she moves, the way she breathes? Harold taps his armrest. I've seen it before. Seen what? Pilots. Combat pilots. Catherine raises an eyebrow. You think she's a pilot? I think she was. And now, Harold sits back, still watching. Now, I think she's trying very hard not to be. Up in 8A, Diana reaches for the seat back pocket. She pulls out the safety card, not to read it, but to check it. Her eyes scan the diagrams, the exit locations, the brace positions. Her fingers trace the outline of the emergency window 2 rows back. Then she folds the card and puts it back. Grant twists around, catching the movement. Seriously, she's reading the safety card. He laughs. First timer for sure. Diana leans her head back against the seat, closes her eyes again. Her lips move barely a whisper. Altitude 11,000. Climb rate steady. Pressure nominal. No one hears her, but Harold does see her fingers tap once against her thigh. 3 quick taps, a pause, then 2 more. He knows one thing. That's not a nervous flyer. That's someone listening to the plane. The first bump comes 11 minutes into the flight. Just enough to rattle the ice in Grant's whiskey glass. The seatbelt sign chimes on. Paige's voice comes over the intercom. Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned on the seatbelt sign. We're experiencing some light chop. Grant mutters, light chop? Right. He doesn't fasten his belt. Diana in 8A doesn't move. Her belt's already on, but now her eyes are open, fixed on the window, watching the wing flex slightly. Another bump, harder this time. The cabin shifts. A few overhead bins creak. Someone in the back yelps. Vanessa grabs her armrest. Jesus, that felt... A third jolt. The plane drops maybe 10 feet, then catches itself. Kyle's phone almost slips. He fumbles. catches it, laughs nervously. Whoa, okay, that was fun. But Diana isn't laughing. Her head tilts slightly like she's listening. Not to the passengers, not to the intercom, to the plane, the way the engines hum, the way the airframe groans, the subtle change in vibration beneath her feet. Her eyes narrow. She whispers so low that even someone next to her wouldn't hear wind shear, vectors changing. Grant twists around, catching the movement of her lips. What did you say? Diana doesn't answer. Grant's voice rises. Excuse me, I asked you a question. Still nothing. He unbuckles, stands halfway. Hey, lady, I'm talking to you. Paige appears instantly. Sir, please sit down. The seatbelt sign is on. She just said something about the wind. Another jolt. Harder. The plane shutters, drops again, and this time a carry-on tumbles out of an overhead bin. It hits the floor with a heavy thud. Someone screams. Grant drops back into his seat, fumbling with his belt. What the hell is going on? Kyle's livestream chat is exploding. Is the plane okay? This looks bad. Vanessa's knuckles are white. Paige, is this normal? It's just turbulence, ma'am. The pilots. The intercom crackles. A woman's voice, calm but tight. Folks, this is First Officer Tara Johnson up front. We're encountering some unexpected weather. Should have you out of this in just a few minutes. Sit tight. In the cockpit, Tara's gripping the yoke hard enough to leave marks, sweat beads on her forehead. Next to her, Captain Mark Donnelly, 50s gray at the temples, wipes his face with the back of his hand. His breathing is shallow. Too shallow. Captain. Tara glances at him. You okay? Mark nods. Doesn't look at her. Yeah, just indigestion. But his left hand is pressed against his chest, and his right hand on the yoke is trembling. Mark. I'm fine, Tara. The radar screen is a mess of yellow and red. Wind shear warnings flash across the display. Tara toggles the autopilot. I'm taking manual control. The autopilot disconnects with a soft chime. Now it's all her. The yoke shakes in her hands. The plane lurches left, then right. Captain, recommend we request a vector change. Mark nods slowly. His face is pale, sweating. Yeah, do it. Tara keys the radio. Denver Center Flight 1247, requesting vector 270 to avoid weather. A pause. Then, Flight 1247, Denver Center standby. Another jolt. Violent. The plane rolls 10 degrees left, corrects, then rolls right. In the cabin, people are shouting. Paige braces against the seat. Jenna clings to the galley wall, face white. Diana's hands are flat on the armrests. Her breathing hasn't changed. 4 in, 4 hold, 4 out. But her eyes are moving fast. Window to wing, wing to overhead panel, panel to the cockpit door. Her lips move again, faster. Pitot static. Check de-ice, engine parameters. Grant sees her talking to herself. Is she praying or something? Kyle's camera is shaking. Guys, I don't know if we're going to make it. The plane drops again. Hard. 20 feet, maybe more. Screams fill the cabin, and Diana West stands up. Paige spins around. Ma'am, sit down now. Diana doesn't sit. She steps into the aisle and starts walking toward the cockpit. Grant's voice cracks. Where the hell is she going? Paige moves to intercept, but the plane lurches and she stumbles. Diana reaches the cockpit door. She doesn't knock. Just stands there, one hand on the wall, and speaks low, clear, steady. Tell them Squawk 7700, now. Paige staggers forward. Ma'am, you need to... Tell them... Paige stares. Tell them what Squawk 7700. It's the transponder code for in-flight emergency. Diana's voice doesn't rise. They need to do it now, or ATC won't prioritize the descent. Paige's mouth opens, closes. How do you... Another violent shake. The plane rolls hard left. Derek Quinn is on his feet, moving toward Diana. Lady, I don't know what you think you're doing, but you need to sit your ass down before. Let her talk. The shout comes from the back. Harold, standing in 12F, his voice cuts through the chaos like a drill sergeant's. Derek stops, turns. Who the hell are retired Air Force? And that woman just used phraseology I haven't heard outside a cockpit in 30 years. So unless you know what a squawk code is, shut up and sit down. Silence. Just for a second. Then Grant's voice shrill. She's trying to scare everyone. She doesn't know what she's talking about. Diana doesn't turn around. She's still facing the cockpit door, hand flat against it, like she's feeling the vibrations. Paige hesitates. Then she pulls out her interphone, hands shaking. Tara, there's a passenger here. She says you need to squawk 7700. A pause. Then Tara's voice, who said that? Paige looks at Diana. A woman in 8A. Another pause. Longer. Then stand by. In the cockpit, Tara reaches for the transponder, fingers trembling. She dials in 7700. On the radar screen, their blip changes color. Priority status. Denver Center responds immediately. Flight 1247, we see your squawk. Confirm emergency. Tara swallows. Affirmative. Severe turbulence. Requesting immediate descent and vector around weather. Flight 1247 descend and maintain flight level 280. Vector 270. Emergency services standing by. Tara pushes the yoke forward. The plane starts to descend, smoother, calmer. The shaking eases. In the cabin, the screaming stops. People gasp for air. Diana steps back from the cockpit door, turns, walks back to 8A without a word. Grant is staring face pale. Kyle's camera follows her every step. Vanessa whispers, "Who is she?" Diana sits down, fastens her seatbelt, folds her hands, and the scar on her right wrist, thin, pale old, catches the overhead light just for a second before she tucks her hands into her lap. The cabin is still, too still, the kind of quiet that comes after a scare. The turbulence has eased. The plane is descending smoothly now. Outside the windows, the clouds thin out. But nobody's looking out the windows. They're looking at Diana. She sits in 8A, hands folded, face blank, like nothing happened. Grant Harlan is still gripping his armrest, knuckles white. His whiskey glass is on the floor, shattered. Kyle's live stream is still rolling. Who is she? She knew the code. Former pilot. Vanessa leans toward Grant. Did you hear what she said? That code thing, Grant nods slowly. Yeah, I heard. So she knows how to fly. I don't know. Maybe she just watches documentaries or something. But his voice is shaky. Derek stares at Diana like she's a puzzle. That was weird, right? Harold in 12F is watching Diana too. Focused. Like a hunter who spotted tracks. Catherine leans toward him. You were right, weren't you? She's a pilot. Harold's eyes are on Diana's hands. Perfectly still now. No fidgeting. Maybe, he says. Or she was. So why didn't she just say so? Because, Harold says quietly, people like that don't need to tell you what they are. They just are. Up in the cockpit, Tara is breathing hard. The descent stabilized, but her heart is still hammering. Mark slumps in his seat, head back, eyes closed. His left hand is still pressed to his chest. Captain, Tara's voice is tight. Mark, you need to talk to me. He opens his eyes, unfocused, glassy. I'm fine. You're not fine. You're sweating through your shirt. It's just, don't. Her voice cracks. Don't tell me it's indigestion. Mark tries to sit up. Fails. Tara, I need you to focus. Get us to Denver. I'll be okay. You need a doctor. We'll get one on the ground. Just fly the plane. Tara stares at him for 3 long seconds. Then she keys the intercom. Paige, I need you up here. In the cabin, Paige is still near the galley. Jenna is next to her, gripping the counter. Paige. Jenna's voice is a whisper. That woman. How did she know? I don't know. Should we ask her? Paige shakes her head. Not yet. First, I need to check on the captain. She moves toward the cockpit, but as she passes row 8, she slows. Diana's looking out the window, calm, unreadable. Paige hesitates. Ma'am. Diana doesn't turn. Ms. West, thank you for what you said. You should check on your captain, Diana says quietly, still not looking at her. He's in trouble. Paige's breath catches. What? He's not breathing right. Left side, chest pain, probably cardiac. Diana's voice is flat, clinical. You need a doctor, and you need to get him on oxygen. Now. Paige stares. How do you go? Paige goes. Grant watches from 2 rows up. He can't hear the words, but he sees Paige's face go pale, sees her sprint toward the cockpit. He twists toward Vanessa. Something's wrong. Something's really wrong. The intercom crackles. Tara's voice, strained. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a medical situation in the cockpit. If there is a doctor on board, please identify yourself immediately. The cabin erupts. Medical situation. What does that mean? Is the pilot okay? Catherine is already unbuckling. She stands, raises her hand. I'm a doctor, cardiac surgeon. Paige appears at the cockpit door, waves her forward. Please, hurry. Catherine moves quickly, ducking into the cockpit. The door closes. The cabin goes silent. Then Kyle voice panicked. Guys, the captain is sick. Who's going to land the plane? Derek stands. This is insane. We need to turn around now. We're already descending. Harold calls from the back. ATC has us. We're fine. Fine. Grant's voice is shrill. The captain's having a heart attack, and you think we're fine. Diana closes her eyes, breathes, 4 in, 4 hold, 4 out. Her right hand twitches, just once. She tucks it under her left, hiding the tremor. In the cockpit, Catherine is leaning over Mark, fingers on his neck. Pulse is rapid, weak, breathing shallow. This is a cardiac event. Tara's voice is barely controlled. Can you stabilize him? Not up here. He needs a hospital. How far to Denver? 20 minutes, maybe less. Make it less. Catherine pulls an oxygen mask from the emergency kit, fits it over Mark's face. Paige hovers near the door. Tara, what do we do? Tara doesn't answer. She's staring at the instruments. The altitude, the speed, the fuel. She's 27 years old, 3 years out of flight school. She's never landed a wide body by herself. And now she has to. Paige, she says, voice tight. Get back out there. Keep everyone calm. Tell them we're landing in Denver. Tell them everything's fine. But do it. Paige leaves. Back in the cabin, Paige's voice comes over the intercom, shaky but trying. Ladies and gentlemen, we are continuing our descent into Denver. The captain is receiving medical attention. First Officer Johnson is fully qualified and in control. We'll be on the ground shortly. Grant stands up. This is unacceptable. I want to speak to someone in charge. Sir, please. No. We have a trainee flying this plane. I have rights. I have sit down. The voice is quiet, but it cuts through the noise like a blade. Everyone turns. Diana is standing in the aisle, hands at her sides. Her eyes are on him, and for the first time, there's something in them. Not anger, not fear, just certainty. She's not a trainee, Diana says. She's a first officer. She's qualified, and she'll get you on the ground. Grant sputters. And how the hell would you know? Diana doesn't answer. Just looks at him. Doesn't blink. Grant takes a step forward. I asked you a question. Derek moves up behind him. Yeah. Who do you think you are? Lady Harold is halfway out of his seat. Back off, both of you. Or what old man? Vanessa stands pointing at Diana. She's the one causing problems. Someone needs to check her ID. She could be what? Catherine's voice sharp from the cockpit doorway. She stepped out, wiping her hands. A person who just helped save this flight. Vanessa falters. I didn't mean... Yes, you did. Catherine looks at Diana, then at the rest of the cabin. That woman told us to squawk 7700. We did. ATC gave us priority. We're descending safely. If she hadn't said anything, we'd still be getting thrown around up there. She pauses. So maybe instead of filming her and questioning her, you all say thank you and sit the hell down. Silence. Kyle lowers his phone. Just a little. Grant opens his mouth, closes it. Diana turns and walks back to 8A. Sits, fastens her belt. Her hands are shaking now. Visibly, she presses them together hard until the shaking stops. Nobody sees, except Harold. He's staring at her wrist, at the thin scar, at the way her fingers are positioned like she's gripping something that isn't there. He's seen that posture before, in debrief rooms, in PTSD counseling sessions, pilots who've had to eject, who've felt the violent snap of a rocket seat. He leans toward Catherine, who's returned to her seat. That woman, in 8A. What about her? She's not just a pilot. Then what is she? Harold's voice drops to a whisper. She's combat. Look, if you're watching this, and your heart's pounding the same way mine is writing it, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe. Because what happens next, nobody in that cabin saw it coming. Not Grant, not Kyle, not even Tara up front. And if you think Diana's secret is just she used to fly planes, you're about to find out how wrong you are. Stay with me. The descent continues, smooth at first, but outside the windows the sky is changing. The thin clouds thicken, darken. The sunlight fades to gray, then to something darker. The plane enters a wall of weather, dense, churning, angry. Rain streaks across the windows, then sleet, then something heavier. Ice. In the cockpit, Tara sees it forming on the leading edge of the wing, thin at first, then thicker, white ridges creeping back toward the fuselage. She toggles the switch. Anti-ice on. Engine and wing. The systems hum. Warm air floods the engine inlets, the wing surfaces. The ice should melt. Should. But it's building faster than the system can clear it. Tara keys the radio. Denver Center Flight 1247. We're picking up ice. Moderate to severe. Request lower altitude. Static. Then, Flight 1247 descend and maintain 16,000. Be advised, multiple aircraft reporting icing at all altitudes below 20,000. Tara's jaw tightens. Copy. Descending 16,000. She pushes the yoke forward. Behind her, Catherine monitors Mark. His pulse is steadier but weak. The oxygen mask fogs with each shallow breath. How is he? Tara asks. Stable. Barely. He needs a hospital in the next 15 minutes or we're going to lose him. Working on it. But Tara's hands are shaking on the yoke. The plane is heavy, sluggish. The wings are carrying extra weight they weren't designed for. A red light flashes on the panel. Engine 2. Oil pressure low. Tara's stomach drops. No, 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 no. She taps the gauge. The needle flickers, drops another notch. Catherine sees her face. What? Engine 2. Oil pressure's dropping. Ice must have gotten into the fuel line. What does that mean? It means if that engine quits, we're flying on one. And with this much ice... Tara doesn't finish. She keys the radio again. Denver Center Flight 1247. We have an engine issue. Engine 2, oil pressure critical. Requesting priority handling and nearest available airport. A pause. Longer than it should be. Then, Flight 1247. Denver International is experiencing delays due to weather. Visibility below minimums. Runways contaminated with ice. We're holding all inbound traffic. Tara's voice cracks. Center, we have a medical emergency and a failing engine. We cannot hold. Understood, 1247. Stand by for alternate. Tara waits. 10 seconds. 20. Her hands are white on the yoke. Finally, Flight 1247 nearest suitable alternate is Buckley Air Force Base, bearing 090 distance 40 miles. Runway 35 right. Be advised Buckley is a military installation. You'll need to declare an emergency for clearance. Tara doesn't hesitate. Center Flight 1247 is declaring an emergency. Mayday. 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 We are diverting to Buckley. Flight 1247, copy your mayday. Buckley is notified. Squawk 7700 if not already. Already squawking 7700. Understood. Buckley approach will contact you on 121.5. Good luck, 1247. Tara switches frequencies. Her hands are shaking so hard she almost misses the dial. Buckley approach flight 1247 Mayday. We are a wide-body passenger aircraft 40 miles west, requesting immediate clearance for emergency landing. A new voice. Calm. Military precision. Flight 1247 Buckley approach. We copy your Mayday. Runway 35 right is clear. Winds 290 at 30 knots, gusting 40. Visibility 1 mile in snow. Ceiling 400 feet. Foam trucks are rolling. State your fuel and souls on board. Tara checks the gauge. Her throat tightens. Fuel is 42 minutes. Souls on board 207. Copy 1247. You are cleared direct Buckley. Descend pilot's discretion. Report outer marker. Tara banks the plane. The turn is sluggish. The ice makes everything heavy. Catherine watches the wing. Tara, is it supposed to look like that? The wing is white, coated. The ice is thick enough to see from inside the cockpit. No, Tara whispers. It's not. In the cabin, the passengers feel the turn, the descent, the way the plane shudders. Paige's voice comes over the intercom. Ladies and gentlemen, we are diverting to an alternate airport due to weather. Please ensure your seatbelts are fastened. Grant is on his feet before she finishes. Alternate airport. What the hell does that mean? Paige appears from the galley. Sir, please sit down. No, I want answers. Where are we going? Denver is closed due to weather. We're landing at a nearby closed, Vanessa's voice shrill. How can it be closed? Derek stands blocking the aisle. This is bullshit. We paid for Denver. The plane shudders, hard, a deep grinding vibration. Someone screams. Kyle's phone is up again. Guys, something's wrong. Something's really wrong. The overhead bins creak. A bag falls. Then another. Paige staggers. Everyone please sit down. But nobody's listening. Grant shoves past her, heading toward the cockpit. I want to talk to whoever's flying this thing. Harold moves to intercept, but Derek blocks him. Stay out of this, old man. Get out of my way. Or what? The plane shudders again. The lights flicker, and Diana stands up. She doesn't say anything, just steps into the aisle, walks forward. Her face is blank. Her steps are steady even as the floor tilts. She reaches the cockpit door, puts her hand on it. Paige sees her. Ms. West, you can't open it. I can't do that. Passengers aren't open it. Diana's voice is quiet, but there's steel in it now. Or I will. Paige hesitates. Then she sees Diana's eyes, sees the scar on her wrist, sees the way she's standing balance-centered like someone who's been in worse situations. Paige pulls out her key, unlocks the door. Grant grabs Diana's shoulder. Where do you think you're going? Diana doesn't look at him. She just reaches up, takes his wrist, and twists. Not hard, just enough. Grant yelps, stumbles back. Diana steps into the cockpit. The door closes behind her. Tara spins in her seat. Who the hell? She stops. Diana is standing just inside the door, hands at her sides, eyes on the instrument panel. You need help, Diana says simply. Tara stares. Who are you? Someone who knows how to fly. That's not an answer. It's the only one that matters right now. Diana steps forward, eyes scanning the gauges. Oil pressure, altitude, airspeed, ice accumulation. Engine 2's about to quit. You're overweight on ice. You're descending too fast for the approach you're planning. Tara's hands tighten on the yoke. I know what I'm doing. I'm sure you do, but you've never done this. And you have... Diana's eyes flick to her, just for a second. Yes. Tara opens her mouth, closes it. She looks at Catherine, who's still monitoring Mark. Catherine nods slightly. Tara swallows. Okay, fine. What do I need to do? First, reduce power on engine 2. Let it spool down before it seizes. If it seizes, you'll lose controllability. Tara's hand moves to the throttle, hesitates. If I reduce power, we'll lose speed. You'll lose more if it seizes and rips itself apart. Tara pulls the throttle back. The engine noise drops. The plane shudders, then steadies. Diana nods. Good. Now pitch up 2 degrees. You're dropping too fast. The ice is killing your lift. You need to compensate. Tara pulls back on the yoke. The nose lifts slightly. The descent rate slows. Airspeed, Diana asks. 160. Too slow. You're at risk of stalling. Add 5 knots. But with the ice, trust me. Tara pushes the throttle forward on engine 1. The airspeed climbs. 162, 165. The plane stabilizes. Diana leans over, eyes on the weather radar. How far to Buckley? 30 miles, maybe less. Fuel? 35 minutes. Enough. Barely. Diana straightens. You need to declare a second Mayday. Engine failure. I already declared for medical. Declare again. For mechanical. They need to know you're coming in on 1 engine. Tara keys the mic. Buckley approach flight 1247. We have lost engine 2. Repeat, we are now single engine, requesting emergency equipment standing by. The controller's voice doesn't change. Copy 1247, single engine. All equipment is standing by. Runway 35 right winds 290 at 35, gusting 42. Advise when you have the field in sight. Wilco. Tara looks at Diana. Who are you? Diana doesn't answer. She's staring out the windshield at the wall of snow ahead. Her right hand is trembling again. She presses it against her thigh, out of sight. In the cabin chaos, Grant is back in his seat nursing his wrist. His face is red, humiliated. Kyle's live stream is on fire. She just went into the cockpit. Is she a pilot? Who is she? Vanessa is pale, gripping her armrests. This is insane. Derek paces the aisle. Someone needs to stop her. She's probably making it worse. Harold stands, voice cutting through the noise. She's making it better. Sit down and shut up. Who the hell do you think? I think I'm someone who knows what a combat pilot looks like when they're trying to save your life. So sit down. Derek hesitates, then sits. The cabin falls into a tense, brittle silence. Outside, the snow thickens. The plane rocks in the wind. The ice on the wings is visible now, even from inside. A child starts crying. A woman prays quietly. And in 8A, Diana's duffel bag sits alone. The zipper is still open from when she pulled out the pill bottle. Inside, barely visible, a folded jacket. Olive green. A patch on the shoulder. 416th Flight Test Squadron. A coin, silver, worn. And a set of dog tags half tucked under the jacket, the chain tangled. The name stamped on the tags is too small to read from a distance, but if you looked close enough, you'd see it. West D Captain USF. The cockpit is tight, cramped. 3 people in a space meant for 2. Tara flies. Diana watches. Catherine monitors Mark. The windshield is a blur of white. Snow so thick it's like flying through static. Tara keys the mic. Buckley approach 1247. We're at 10,000 descending. Do not have the field in sight. Copy 1247. Field is at your 12 o'clock, 22 miles. Altimeter 2985. 2985 set. Diana leans forward. You're drifting right. Wind's pushing you off course. Tara checks the heading. Damn it. You're right, she corrects. The plane yawns back towards centerline. Diana's eyes don't leave the instruments. When's the last time you flew a single-engine approach simulator 6 months ago? In weather like this? Tara doesn't answer. Diana exhales slowly. Okay, listen carefully. When you get to 2,000 feet, you're going to feel like you're too high. You're not. The ice is making the plane want to sink. If you cut power too early, you'll drop like a stone. So I keep power in until 500 feet. Then you reduce gradually. Not all at once, gradually. Tara nods jaw tight. The radio crackles. A new voice, older, authoritative. Flight 1247. This is Colonel Dan Richardson, Buckley Air Force Base Commander. We've got you on radar. You're doing fine. Just keep her steady. Tara's voice wavers. Thank you, sir. Who's assisting you up there? We're hearing a second voice on the intercom. Tara glances at Diana. A passenger. She's a pilot, I think. A pause. Can I speak to her? Diana reaches for the headset. Tara hands it over. Diana presses the mic. This is Diana West. Silence. Long enough that Tara thinks the connection dropped. Then, say again, full name. Diana Michelle West. Another pause. Then quieter. Call sign. Diana closes her eyes. Spectre 19er. The silence stretches. 5 seconds. 10. Then Richardson's voice, almost a whisper. Jesus Christ. Spectre, is that really you? Yes, sir. You were flying F-16s out of Bagram. Single-engine emergency landing in a crosswind. 40 knots, walked away. That's correct. Ma'am, I was the duty officer that night. I read the after-action report. What you did was... He trails off. Then louder. Lieutenant Johnson, you've got one of the best stick-and-rudder pilots I've ever seen sitting next to you. Listen to her. Tara stares at Diana. Your Air Force... Diana hands the headset back. Was. Why didn't you say anything? Would they have believed me? Tara looks toward the cabin door. Thinks about Grant. Kyle. Vanessa. No, probably not. Diana nods. Then it doesn't matter. But in the cabin, it's starting to matter. Because Paige, standing near the galley, just heard the intercom exchange. And so did several passengers near the front, including Grant. He stands face red. Did she just say, Air Force? Paige tries to move past him. Sir, please. That woman is military, and nobody thought to mention that she's helping the pilots. That's all. No. Grant's voice rises. She's been lying this whole time, acting like some nobody, and now she's in the cockpit. Kyle's camera swings toward Grant. Wait, she's flying? I don't know, Grant shouts. Nobody's telling us anything. Vanessa stands, voice shaking. She could be anyone. How do we know she's even qualified? She could have been dishonorably discharged. Derek joins in. Yeah, what if she's the reason we're in this mess? Harold rises from 12F, voice like gravel. You people are unbelievable. Grant whirls on him. Excuse me. She saved your asses twice already, and you're still trying to tear her down. We don't know that I know enough. Oh, really? And what's that? Harold steps into the aisle. I know she moves like someone who's been in a cockpit under fire. I know she used phraseology drilled into combat pilots. I know she's got scars from an ejection seat harness. And I know that if she wanted to hurt us, we'd already be dead. Silence. Then Grant, quieter, but colder. Or maybe she's just good at fooling people. He pulls out his phone, opens a browser, types fast. Let's see. Diana West, Air Force. He scrolls, his eyes widen. Oh, this is interesting. Vanessa leans over. What? Grant turns the phone toward the cabin. On the screen, a news article. Headline partially visible. USAF pilot grounded after controversial landing. Grant's smile is ugly. She was grounded, pulled from duty. That's not a hero, people. That's someone who screwed up. Kyle zooms in. Holy shit. This is bad. Paige tries to intervene. You don't know the context. I know enough, Grant shouts. She's not supposed to be flying. We need to get her out of that cockpit before she kills us all. He moves toward the cockpit door. Derek follows. Paige blocks them. You are not going in there. Get out of my way. Derek grabs her arm. Not hard, but firm. Move! Harold shoves past Seat's fist, clenched. Let her go. Now! Derek turns, sneers. What are you going to do, old man? Harold doesn't answer. He just swings. One punch, clean. Derek's head snaps back and he drops, clutching his nose. Blood drips onto the carpet. The cabin explodes. Vanessa screams. Kyle's camera shakes. Grant stumbles back. Paige pulls out her phone, hands shaking. I'm calling the cockpit. She dials. In the cockpit, the interphone buzzes. Tara picks up. What? Paige's voice frantic. Tara, we have a situation. Passengers found an article about Ms. West. They're saying she was grounded. They're trying to get into the cockpit. One's bleeding. It's chaos. Tara closes her eyes. Are you serious? I need you to talk to them. They don't trust her. Tara looks at Diana. Did you hear that? Diana's face doesn't change. Yes. They're saying you were grounded. I was. Tara's stomach sinks. Why? Diana's hands tighten on the seat edge. Because I disobeyed a direct order. What order? To eject. Tara stares. You were ordered to eject, and you didn't. There was a village below me. Friendly. If I'd ejected, the plane would have crashed into it. Killed dozens. So you landed instead. I tried. I made it. Barely. But I broke protocol. Endangered the aircraft. They grounded me. Medical discharge. For saving lives, Diana's jaw tightens. For disobeying orders. Catherine speaks up. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. It's the military, Diana says quietly. Rules matter more than outcomes sometimes. Tara is silent. Then she picks up the interphone. Paige put Grant on. A shuffle. Then Grant's voice smug. Yes, Mr. Harlan. I don't care what you found on Google. Ms. West is helping me fly this plane. And unless you have an ATP license and a few thousand hours, you're going to sit down and be quiet. She was grounded. For saving lives, and right now she's saving yours. So unless you want to come up here and land this yourself, shut your mouth, Grant sputters. You can't. Tara hangs up. She looks at Diana. Okay. Diana nods. Okay. But her hands are shaking badly now. She tucks them under her thighs. In the cabin, Grant is livid, face purple. Kyle's livestream chat is a war zone. She disobeyed orders. She saved people. Grounded, not safe. Hero who got screwed. Vanessa is crying. I don't know who to believe. Derek is back on his feet, nose-bleeding murder in his eyes. I'm going in there. Harold steps in front of him. You're not. Move! No. Derek swings. Harold blocks counters, and Derek stays down. Paige screams into her phone. Tara, we need... The plane drops. Hard. A sickening lurch. Overhead bins fly open. Bags tumble. Someone's laptop crashes. Screams fill the cabin. And then from the cockpit, a sound nobody wants to hear. A long, shrill alarm. Stall, stall, stall. The stall warning shrieks. A robotic voice. Stall, stall, stall. Tara's hands jerk on the yoke. No, no, no. Push forward. Diana's voice cuts through. Push the nose down now. Tara hesitates, instinct screaming to pull up, then shoves the yoke forward. The nose drops. The plane pitches into a shallow dive. The warning stops. Tara gasps. What just ice on the wings killed your lift? You were flying too slow. Another few seconds and we'd have fallen out of the sky. Tara's voice cracks. I thought I was doing it right. You were. But the ice changed the math. Diana points at the airspeed indicator. Keep it at 170, no slower, not until we're over the threshold. Tara nods, adjusts the throttle. 165, 170, steady. The plane levels out. But the crisis isn't over. The fuel gauge flickers. Tara sees it. Her heart sinks. Diana. Fuel. Diana looks. The needle is dropping faster than it should. How much? 22 minutes? Maybe less. Diana's jaw tightens. How far to Buckley? Tara checks the GPS. 18 miles. At this speed, 7 minutes, but that's without the approach, without lining up, so we have no margin. No. Diana closes her eyes, breathes. 4 in, 4 hold, 4 out. Opens them. Call Buckley. Ask for winds and ceiling. Tara keys the mic. Buckley approach 1247. Request current winds and ceiling. The controller responds. 1247. Winds 290 at 35, gusting 42. Ceiling 300 feet. Visibility half a mile in snow. Runway 35 right ice and snow contaminated. Braking action reported poor. Tara's face goes white. 300 feet. That's below minimums. For a civilian approach, Diana says, not for a combat approach. We're in a passenger jet, not a fighter. Doesn't matter. The principles are the same. Tara shakes her head. I've never done a below minimums approach. Not in training. Not anywhere. I have. In a fighter with an ejection seat. Diana doesn't answer. Tara's voice rises. Diana, if I screw this up, 200 people die. I can't. You won't screw it up. I'll talk you through it. What if you can't? Diana looks at her. Really looks. And for the first time, there's something that isn't steel. Understanding. Then we both go down, Diana says quietly. But we're not going to. You hear me? Tara's hands shake so hard the yoke rattles. I don't know if I can do this. You can. You already have. Tara stares. What? You survived the turbulence. You declared the Mayday. You kept this thing in the air when the captain went down. You're already doing it. Tara's breath hitches. But no buts. You're a pilot. So fly. Silence. Just the hum of the engine. The whistle of wind. Then Tara nods. Okay. Diana nods back. Okay. The radio crackles. Colonel Richardson. 1247 Buckley approach. We're tracking you. You're 8 miles out. Begin your descent when ready. We'll guide you in. Tara keys the mic. Copy Buckley. Beginning descent. She pulls the throttle back slightly. The nose dips. The altimeter unwinds. 8,000, 7,000, 6,000. Diana watches like a hawk. Pitch. Watch your pitch. You're getting too nose down. Tara pulls back gently. The nose lifts. The descent slows. Good. Hold that. 5,000, 4,000. The snow outside is a solid wall. Visibility 0. Tara's voice is tight. I can't see anything. You don't need to see. Not yet. Trust your instruments. 3,000. The radar altimeter beeps. Terrain warning. Tara's breathing is ragged. Diana, Focus. Call out altitude every 1,000. 2,000. Airspeed 170. Good. Flaps 10. Tara extends. The plane shudders as drag increases. 1,500. Airspeed 165 dropping. Add power 5 knots. Tara nudges the throttle. The airspeed steadies. 1,000. The cockpit goes silent except for alarms. Terrain. Sync rate. All screaming. Diana's voice cuts through. Gear down. Tara pulls the lever. 3 green lights. Gear down 3 green. Flaps 20. Tara extends. The plane slows further. 500. Still no runway. Just white. 400. Tara's voice cracks. I don't see it. Diana, I don't. You will. Keep descending. 300. Catherine in the back grips Mark's hand. She whispers a prayer. 200. And then a break in the snow. Faint. Fleeting. But there. Lights. Rows of them. White on the sides. Red at the end. Runway. Tara's breath catches. I see it. Good. Don't lose it. Flaps full. Tara extends. The plane drops faster. 100. The runway rushes up fast. Diana's voice is steady. 50 feet. Ease back. Gentle. Tara pulls. The nose lifts. 30. Power to idle. Tara pulls the throttle back. 20. The ground is right there. White foam on both sides. 10. The wheels kiss the runway. Hard jolt. The plane bounces, settles. Tara slams the brakes. Deploys thrust reverser on engine 1. The plane shrieks. Skids. They're sliding. Fast. The icy runway offers no grip. Reverse thrust max. Diana shouts. Tara's already there. The engine screams. They slide. And slide. The end of the runway approaches. A fence. Lights. Darkness beyond. Tara's vision tunnels. We're not stopping. Yes, we are. Hold it. The plane shudders, slows, crawls, and stops. 50 feet from the end. Silence. Complete absolute silence. Tara stares out the windshield, chest heaving. We made it. Diana leans back, closes her eyes. Her hands are shaking violently now. She presses them together hard, but they won't stop. The radio crackles. Colonel Richardson's voice thick with emotion. Flight 1247, Buckley Tower. Touchdown confirmed. Welcome home, Spectre. Tara looks at Diana. Spectre. Diana doesn't answer. She's staring at her hands, at the scars, at the tremor she can't control. Diana, I need a minute. Catherine leans forward. You okay? Diana nods, but she's not. Her breathing is uneven. Her eyes are wet. She stands, pushes past Catherine, and steps out into the cabin. The cabin erupts. Paige is crying. Harold is standing, hands over his mouth. Even Kyle has lowered his phone. And then slowly passengers start to clap. Hesitant at first, scattered. But it builds. A roar of applause. Grant sits pale, silent. Vanessa cries into her hands. Derek slumps against the window, staring at Diana like he's seeing a ghost. Diana walks down the aisle. The applause follows her, but she doesn't acknowledge it. She just walks back to 8A, sits down, and buries her face in her hands. Outside, emergency vehicles surround the plane. Lights flashing, foam coating the runway, paramedics board. They rush to the cockpit, lift Mark onto a stretcher, carry him out. Catherine follows, giving instructions. Tara stays in the cockpit, staring at instruments. Her hands won't stop shaking. A Buckley officer boards, walks straight to 8A. Ms. West. Diana looks up, her eyes are red. Colonel Richardson would like to see you. She nods, stands, grabs her duffel. As she walks past Grant, he stands. I'm sorry. I didn't know. Diana stops, looks at him. You didn't ask, she says quietly, and walks away. But she only makes it halfway down the jet bridge before her phone buzzes. She pulls it out. A text. Unknown number. Spectre, this is command. We have a situation. Flight 619 southbound. Possible hijacking. Pilot unresponsive. ATC lost contact. We need someone who can talk them down. Can you help? Diana stares at the screen. Her hand trembles. She looks back at Flight 1247, at the plane she just saved. She closes her eyes. 4 in, 4 hold, 4 out. Opens them. Her thumb hovers over the screen. Behind her, the jet bridge door opens. Colonel Richardson appears. Captain West. She doesn't turn around. The phone buzzes again. Spectre, please advise. 200 souls on board. You're the only one close enough. Diana's hand shakes harder. She looks at the text, at Richardson, at the plane, at her hands still trembling, the scars visible in the harsh fluorescent light. The tremor that won't stop. The weakness she's been hiding all day. And for the first time since the flight began, Diana West doesn't know what to do. The phone buzzes a third time. Spectre, we're out of time. Yes or no? Her finger hovers, shaking. They just landed one impossible flight. Now there's another plane in the air. Pilot down autopilot off 200 people who need her voice to survive. But Diana's hands won't stop shaking. The trauma she's been hiding is breaking through. Can she do it again? Or has she finally reached her limit? Drop your answer below because part 2 is where everything changes. Diana's thumb touches the screen. Types, "Send me the frequency." The reply is instant, 121.5. Call sign, Nightfall 4. Godspeed, Spectre. She turns. Colonel Richardson is still standing there, watching her. "I need a headset," Diana says. Her voice is flat, empty. Richardson doesn't ask questions, just nods. "Operations Center, follow me." They move quickly through the corridor. Diana's boots echo on the metal grating. Her right hand won't stop shaking. She shoves it into her jacket pocket. They reach the operations center. Richardson pushes the door open. Inside, half a dozen officers are clustered around screens. West there, headsets on the desk. Diana crosses the room, picks up the headset. Her hands shake so badly she almost drops it. She puts it on, takes a breath. 4 in, 4 hold, 4 out. Keys the mic. Nightfall 4. This is Spectre 19er. Do you copy? Static, then faint, terrified. A woman's voice. Spectre. Oh God. The pilot's down. The autopilot's off. I don't know how to fly. Diana closes her eyes, forces her voice steady. Breathe, I've got you. What's your altitude? A sob. The screen says, 15,000. Good. You have time. What's your name? Rebecca. Rebecca Torres, flight attendant. Captain collapsed and the co-pilot's doing CPR and nobody's flying. Rebecca, listen. You're going to be okay. Tell the co-pilot to get in the seat and take controls. Now. Muffled voices. Then a new voice. Male, young, breathless. This is First Officer Miguel Santos, someone who's going to help you land. Are you in the seat? Yes, but I've never landed by myself. You're landing now. Check instruments. Altitude, 15,200. Airspeed, 280. Good. Turn to heading 360, north, back to Houston. Turning 360. Diana watches the screen. The blip curves, slowly. Increase bank angle. You're turning too shallow. The turn tightens. The blip swings north. Good. Level off. Contact Houston approach. Tell them emergency. Captain incapacitated. Copy. Diana exhales. Her hands are still shaking. She presses one against the desk. Richardson stands beside her. How bad? Co-pilot's never done solo landing. Captain's down. 70 miles out. Can he do it? I don't know. Miguel's voice returns. Houston has us. Cleared direct. Descending to 10,000. Good. Follow their vectors. They'll line you up. Diana watches the blip move north. Steady. But her hands won't stop shaking. Richardson sees. You need water, coffee. Diana shakes her head. Eyes locked on screen. West, you just landed a crippled plane. Now I'm fine. She's not. Miguel's voice tighter now. Passengers are panicking. Someone saw the captain. They're all standing shouting, make an announcement. Tell them you're in control. Landing in Houston. Everything's okay. But I don't know if... It doesn't matter what you know. It matters what they believe. A pause. Then Miguel's voice over the cabin intercom, shaky but trying. Ladies and gentlemen, this is First Officer Santos. We've had a medical emergency, but I'm in control. We're landing in Houston in 20 minutes. Please sit down and fasten seatbelts. Silence. Did it work? Some are sitting. Good. Focus on flying. Altitude. 10,000. Level. Perfect. Hold that. Diana leans back. Her hand trembles against the desk. Richardson sees her staring at it. How long have you had the tremor? Since Bagram. 7 years. Yeah. Does it always? Only when I'm stressed. Richardson almost smiles. So all the time. Diana doesn't smile back. Miguel's voice. Houston's vectoring me for runway 27, descending to 6,000. Good. Follow their instructions. Diana watches the blip descend. Steady, but something nags at her. Miguel, what's your passenger count? 193. Why? Just checking. Fuel. 1 hour 20. Diana pulls up the flight plan. Boeing 737-800. Standard capacity 189. Over capacity. Miguel, check your weight and balance. Cargo load. A pause. We're within limits. Barely. Carrying extra cargo, medical supplies, about 2,000 pounds. Diana's jaw tightens. You'll be heavy on landing. Tell Houston you need their longest runway. Copy. Houston requesting longest available. Nightfall 4. Runway 27 is our longest. 10,000 feet. Already cleared. Diana leans back. 10,000 should be enough. Should be. Miguel, when you land, full reverse thrust immediately. Don't wait. Don't be gentle with brakes. Understood. An officer approaches. Ma'am, weather moving into Houston from the west. Light rain, 10 minutes out. Diana checks the display. Yellow and green. Not severe, but not clear. Miguel, weather's coming. Light rain. Be ready. I see it on radar. Good. Stay focused. Miguel's voice. 4,000. Houston's putting me on ILS. Airspeed. 180. Too fast. Reduced to 160. Copy. Diana watches. The blip lines up with the runway. Miguel, at 1,000 feet, call out altitude every 100 feet. Copy. Her heart pounds. Hands shake so badly she grips the desk edge. Richardson stands silent beside her. The room is quiet. Everyone listening. 1,000 feet. Good. Gear down. Gear down, 3 green. Flaps full? Full flaps. Airspeed, 150. Perfect. 900. You're doing great. Keep it steady. 800. Call out when you see the runway. 700. I see it. Don't lose it. Eyes on the lights. 600. Rain starts. Diana sees it on radar. Miguel, remember full reverse thrust on touchdown. Copy. 500. Diana holds her breath. 400. Ease back on throttle. 300. Airspeed. 140. Good. Start your flare. 200. Gentle. 100. Diana's knuckles are white. 50. A thump. Wheels hit pavement. We're down. The operations center erupts. Cheers. But Diana just keys the mic. Reverse thrust. Now. Deploying. She watches the screen. The blip moves, slows, stops. Miguel's voice shaking with relief. We're stopped. We're safe. Oh my God. Diana closes her eyes. Exhales. Good job, Miguel. I couldn't have. Thank you. Thank you so much. Diana pulls off the headset, sets it down, hand still shaking. Richardson puts a hand on her shoulder. You just saved 400 people in 2 hours. Diana looks at him, eyes hollow. I didn't save anyone. I just talked. You did more than that. Diana stands, legs unsteady. She grabs the desk. I need air. She walks out before he can respond. Outside, the cold hits her. Snow stopped. Sky clearing. Stars appearing. Diana leans against the wall, closes her eyes. Hands won't stop shaking. She looks at them. The scars. The tremor. 7 years. Nothing's changed. Still broken. Her phone buzzes. Tara. Diana. I heard what you did. Another plane. You're incredible. Diana stares, types, thanks, another buzz, unknown number. Captain West, this is Brig, Jenner Sarah Kwan, USAF Personnel Command. We need to talk. Call this number. Diana stares at the number, doesn't call, pockets the phone, walks back inside. Diana steps back into the operations center. People are smiling now, tension gone. Richardson waves her over. West. On the screen, a video feed from Houston. Miguel in the cockpit. Paramedics loading Captain Harris onto a stretcher. Harris is stable, Richardson says. Stroke, but he'll make it. Diana nods. And Santos is being called a hero. Local news already running it. Rookie co-pilot saves flight. He did well. Because you talked him through it. Richardson turns. In 2 hours, you helped land 2 aircraft in emergencies. 400 people alive because of you. Don't downplay this. What you did, that's something else. Diana looks away. An officer approaches with a phone. Colonel General Kwan, she's asking for Captain West. Diana's stomach tightens. I don't want... Too bad. Richardson hands her the phone. She won't stop calling. Diana hesitates. Takes it. This is Diana West. A woman's voice. Professional. Captain West, Brigadier General Sarah Kwan. I left you a message. I got it. Good. I've been reviewing your file. Extraordinary record. Top of your class. Combat deployments. The Bagram landing that should have earned a medal instead of discharge. I disobeyed orders. You saved lives. There's a difference. Kwan pauses. And today, 2 aircraft. Both in distress. Both landed safely because of you. The FAA is calling it one of the most remarkable displays of airmanship they've seen. I was just on a radio. You were doing more than that. Kwan's voice softens. The Air Force made a mistake 7 years ago. I can't change the past, but I can change the future. Diana closes her eyes. What are you offering? Reinstatement, full rank, flight status pending medical and psych evaluation. We'll waive re-entry requirements. If I say no, then you say no. But think about this. You're not done flying. You proved that today. Twice. The question isn't whether you can fly. It's whether you will. Diana's hand tightens. I need time. 72 hours. After that offer expires. Kwan pauses. One more thing. People in Washington want to meet you. People who deal with situations that don't make the news. What kind of people? The kind you'd be good at working with. Think about it, Captain. The line goes dead. Diana hands the phone back. She wants me back in. And I don't know. Richardson crosses his arms. Advice. You're one of the best pilots I've seen, but also one of the most stubborn. You've spent 7 years punishing yourself for doing the right thing. At some point, you have to let it go. It's not that simple. It never is. But you've got a choice. Keep running from who you are, or accept it and move forward. Diana doesn't respond. An officer calls out. Colonel Flight 1247 passengers cleared to leave. Media's outside. They want a statement. Richardson sighs. Of course. He looks at Diana. You want to talk to them? No. Didn't think so. He walks toward the door. Pauses. West. You saved a lot of lives today. Don't forget that. He's gone. Diana stands alone. Officers busy at consoles. No one paying attention. She walks to the window. Looks out. Flight 1247 still there. Surrounded by vehicles. Investigators swarming. Phone buzzes. Harold. Captain, you're the real deal. Semper Fi. If you need anything, let me know. Catherine. You gave my patient a chance. Thank you. Kyle. I deleted the live stream. I'm sorry. You're a hero. Vanessa. I'm ashamed. Thank you for saving my life. Grant donated $50K to veteran organizations in your name. Deeply sorry. Diana stares. Doesn't respond. Pockets the phone. An officer approaches. Ma'am, someone's here. Tara Johnson, first officer from 1247. Diana's chest tightens. Where? Outside. I'll see her. Tara appears in the doorway. Jeans and jacket. Hair pulled back. Eyes red. Hi. Diana nods. Hi. Tara steps inside. I had to thank you. In person. You already did. I needed to say it again. Voice shakes. What you did. I've never seen anything like it. You were calm. Precise. You trusted me. You did it. Only because you told me how. Tara wipes her eyes. I thought I was ready for anything. Today showed me I'm not. Diana looks at her. Sees herself 7 years ago. Young, eager, unprepared. You'll learn. Will you teach me? Diana hesitates. I'm not a teacher. You were today, and with Miguel Santos. That was different. How? He had to. No choice. Tara steps closer. Neither did you. Silence. Tara pulls out a card, hands it to Diana. I meant it. If you need anything, call me. Diana takes it. Tara Johnson, first officer. Phone number. Thank you. Tara turns to leave. Stops. Can I ask something? Sure. Why did you help? You didn't have to. Could have stayed in your seat. Diana is silent. Then, because I've been where you were, and I know what it feels like when no one helps. Tara's eyes well up. She nods. Thank you. She's gone. Diana stands alone, looks at the card. Tara Johnson. Thinks about Kwan's offer. Reinstatement. Full rank. Thinks about the messages. Apologies. Gratitude. Thinks about the last 2 hours. Fear. Exhaustion. Tremor that won't stop. And the text about Flight 619. 200 souls. She saved them. At what cost? Hands still shaking. 7 years. Nothing changed. She pockets the card. Walks to the door. Steps outside. Cold air hits. She breathes. 4 in. 4 hold. 4 out. A voice behind her. Captain West. She turns. A man in a dark suit, no uniform, holding a briefcase. I'm not a captain. You were. Could be again. He reaches into his jacket, pulls out a badge, flips it open. Central Intelligence Agency. Diana's stomach drops. He puts it away. Agent Thomas Riker, I've been following your career. I don't have a career. You did, and could again. A different kind. He sits on a nearby barrier. 3 months ago, commercial airliner hijacked over the Mediterranean. Hijackers were trained, knew how to disable autopilot evade radar fly below detection. Diana says nothing. We stopped them. Barely. Lost good people. Riker looks at her. We need pilots. Combat pilots who can think under pressure, make impossible decisions, land planes in conditions that would kill anyone else. Diana turns away. Find someone else. There is no one else like you. I'm done flying. Are you? He gestures toward the hangar. 20 minutes ago, you flew a crippled jet through a blizzard. Landed it on one engine. You didn't have to. Could have stayed seated, but you didn't. Diana's jaw tightens. That was different. How people were dying. People are always dying. Question is whether you're going to help. Diana turns away. I'm not who you think. I think you're someone who's been told she's broken, grounded, dismissed, underestimated, and I think you just proved every one of them wrong. Hands clench. I don't owe anyone anything. No, but you owe yourself. Riker stands, reaches into his briefcase, pulls out a folder, sets it on the barrier. Classified, eyes only. Situation developing. Venezuela. Civilian aircraft. 200 passengers. Hostile government. Limited options. Diana doesn't touch it. We need someone who can get in, take control, get them out. Quietly. I told you, I'm done. Riker steps back. Folder will be here. Phone number inside. 72 hours. He walks away. Diana stares at the folder, picks up her duffel, turns, walks toward the parking lot, doesn't look back. But she stops, stands there, breathing. 4 in, 4 hold, 4 out. Turns around, walks back, picks up the folder, opens it. Inside photos, aircraft, passengers, location, tactical maps, and a note. They need you, Captain, just like today, just like always. Diana stares at it, closes the folder, looks up at the sky. Stars are out now, clear, beautiful. She thinks about Bagram, the village below, the choice she made, disobey orders, save lives, get grounded for it. She thinks about today. Flight 1247, Nightfall 4, 400 people, alive, because she didn't stay in her seat, because she couldn't. Her hands are still shaking, but for the first time in 7 years, she's not trying to hide it. She pulls out her phone, finds General Kwan's number, calls. It rings once. Captain West, I'll do the evaluation, medical and psych, but I have conditions. I'm listening. I want to choose my assignments. No desk jobs, no ceremonial bullshit. If I fly, it's because people need me to. A pause. Agreed. And I want access to civilian aviation consulting. I'm not just Air Force. I'm a pilot. Period. Also agreed. Diana exhales. Okay. Welcome back, Captain. The line goes dead. Diana pockets the phone, looks at the folder in her hand. Venezuela. 200 passengers. She opens it again, reads the details, hijackers, demands, timeline, 48 hours to plan. She closes it, turns, walks back toward the operations center. Diana pushes open the operations center door. Richardson looks up. West, I thought you left. She holds up the folder. I need to talk to you about Venezuela. His eyes widen. You talked to Riker. Yeah, and I'm in, but I need your help. Tactical support, flight planning, someone who knows what they're doing. Richardson studies her. You're serious? Yeah. He nods slowly. Okay, let's talk. They move to a conference room. Diana spreads the contents of the folder on the table. Photos, maps, intel reports. Richardson whistles. This is complicated. I know. You're talking about infiltrating Venezuelan airspace, landing at a hostile airfield, extracting 200 civilians under armed guard. Yeah. And you think you can do it? Diana looks at him. I landed an F-16 with one engine in a crosswind with a village underneath me. I can do this. Richardson leans back. Tell me about Bagram. Diana's jaw tightens. Why? Because I need to know if you can handle this. Really handle it. Not just the flying, the pressure, the stakes. Diana is silent for a long moment. Then Afghanistan, 2018. I was on a close air support mission, providing cover for a ground unit near a village, friendly village. Our guys had been working with them for months. She pauses. We took fire. RPG hit the engine. Lost hydraulics. Fuel leak. Plane was dying. Richardson nods. And Tower told me to eject. Standard protocol. Punch out. Let the plane crash wherever. But you didn't. No. Because if I'd ejected, the plane would have gone straight down into that village. Killed dozens, maybe more. Women, kids, people we were supposed to protect. So what did you do? I wrote it down. Single engine, no hydraulics, crosswind 40 knots, landed on a dirt strip half the length I needed, blew both tires, cracked the landing gear, fractured my wrist from the ejection seat harness jolting when I almost had to punch out at the last second. She holds up her right hand, the scar visible. But I didn't kill anyone. Richardson is quiet. And they grounded you for it. Yeah. Said I disobeyed orders, endangered the aircraft, violated protocol. But you saved lives. Didn't matter. Rules are rules. Richardson leans forward. You know what I think. What? I think the Air Force was wrong, and I think you've been carrying that with you ever since, punishing yourself for doing the right thing. Diana looks away. Maybe. Not maybe, definitely. Richardson taps the folder. This Venezuela mission, it's the same thing. You're going to have to break rules, disobey protocols, risk everything. I know. And if it goes wrong, they'll crucify you again. I know that too. So why do it? Diana looks at him. Because 200 people need help, and I'm the only one who can give it. Richardson smiles. That's what I thought you'd say. He stands, extends his hand. Welcome back, Captain. Diana shakes it. For the first time in 7 years, the title doesn't feel like a lie. The next 72 hours move fast. Grant Harlan posts a public apology video. 40 seconds. No excuses. Just, I was wrong. I'm sorry. I'll do better. Within 6 hours, it has 2 million views. Kyle Brennan deletes all his social media accounts. Posts one final message, I was part of the problem. No more. Vanessa Cole starts a scholarship fund for women in aviation. Names it after Diana. Derek Quinn is arrested at the airport for assault. Released on bail. Facing charges. Harold Peterson writes a letter to the Air Force Secretary. Subject, reinstate Captain Diana West immediately. Catherine Reed sends Diana a handwritten note. You gave my patient a second chance. You gave all of us one. That's what heroes do. The FAA launches an investigation into Flight 1247. Preliminary findings. Exceptional airmanship by First Officer Tara Johnson, assisted by former USAF Captain Diana West, prevented catastrophic loss of life. Tara is promoted. Offered a spot in the airline's advanced training program. She calls Diana. I got promoted because of you. Diana, you got promoted because you earned it. Tara, will you come to the ceremony? Diana hesitates. I'll think about it. Miguel Santos is given a commendation. The airline offers him a bonus and fast-tracked captain upgrade. He sends Diana a message. You saved my life and my career. Thank you. The Pentagon reviews Diana's discharge. Within 48 hours, it's overturned. Not just overturned, upgraded. Her service record now includes honorable discharge upgraded to commendation for valor. The medal she should have received 7 years ago. It's waiting for her at the Pentagon. General Kwan calls. Your reinstatement is approved. You're back on flight status. Effective immediately. Diana. What about the psych eval? Kwan waved. After what you did this week, no one's questioning your mental fitness. Diana. And the assignments? Kwan, you pick. That was the deal. Diana. Good. Because I already have one. The story goes viral. Mystery woman saves 2 planes in one day. Black woman mocked in first class, then saves everyone's lives. Former fighter pilot proves Air Force wrong. CNN, Fox, MSNBC, BBC, Al Jazeera. Everyone wants an interview. Diana declines them all. Except one. A small podcast run by a veteran. 20,000 listeners, no cameras. She talks for an hour. About Bagram, about being grounded, about the tremor in her hands, about what it's like to be underestimated every single day, and about why she did it anyway. The episode gets 5 million downloads in a week. But not everything is celebration. Diana sits in a medical office at Buckley AFB. A doctor examines her hand. The tremor, the scars. It's nerve damage, the doctor says. From the ejection seat harness, chronic, probably permanent. Diana nods. I know. It's going to get worse over time, especially under stress. I know that too. Captain, I have to ask, are you sure you want to go back to flying with this condition? I'm sure. The doctor hesitates, then signs the clearance form. You're cleared for flight status, but I'm noting the condition in your file. If it gets worse, we'll have to reassess. Diana stands. It won't. But they both know that's not true. Congress holds a hearing. Subject: gender and racial bias in aviation. Diana is called to testify. She shows up in uniform, sits at the table, answers questions for 3 hours. Yes, she was discriminated against. Yes, it happens all the time. Yes, the industry needs to change. At the end, a senator asks, Captain West, what would you say to young women, especially young women of color who want to become pilots? Diana looks directly at the camera. I'd say they're going to doubt you. They're going to underestimate you. They're going to tell you that you don't belong, and you're going to prove them wrong every single time. The clip goes viral. 10 million views in 24 hours. 3 days later. Diana stands on the tarmac at Buckley AFB. It's early morning. The sun is just starting to rise. The sky is pink and gold. In front of her, a C-130 transport plane. Engines running. Ramp down. Colonel Richardson walks up beside her. You ready? Diana looks at the plane. Yeah. Venezuela's not going to be easy. I know. You'll be going in dark. No official support. If it goes wrong? I know. Richardson hands her a folder. Flight plan. Tactical overview. Contact info for the ground team. Diana takes it. Thanks. One more thing. Richardson pulls something from his pocket. A small metal object. A coin. 416th Flight Test Squadron. Spectre Lives. I thought you might want this back. Diana takes it. Turns it over in her hand. Where did you get this? Your duffel. On Flight 1247. It fell out when the paramedics were loading the captain. Diana stares at it. Thank you. Richardson nods. Go get him, Spectre. Diana turns, walks toward the plane. Halfway up the ramp, she stops, looks back. Tara is standing there. Jeans and a flight jacket, duffel over her shoulder. Tara, what are you doing here? Tara grins. You didn't think I'd let you go alone, did you? Diana blinks. You're not authorized. Actually, I am. General Kwan called me yesterday. Said you might need a co-pilot. I volunteered. Diana stares. You're crazy. Maybe, but you taught me something. When people need help, you don't stay in your seat. Tara walks up the ramp, stops beside Diana. So, you ready to teach me how to really fly? Diana looks at her, then smiles. For the first time in 7 years, a real smile. Yeah, let's go. They board the plane. The ramp closes. The engines roar. Inside, Diana straps into the pilot's seat. Tara takes the co-pilot position. Diana runs through the pre-flight checklist, hands moving fast, confident. The tremor is still there, but quieter now. Tara watches. You okay? Diana nods. Yeah, I am. She keys the radio. Buckley Tower. This is Spectre 19er. Ready for departure. Spectre 19er Buckley Tower. You are cleared for takeoff. Runway 35 right. Winds 270 at 10. Good luck out there. Diana pushes the throttles forward. The plane starts to roll. Faster, faster. The nose lifts. The wheels leave the ground. And Diana West Captain USAF callsign Spectre is flying again. As the plane climbs into the dawn sky, Diana looks out the window. Below Buckley AFB, the runway where she landed Flight 1247, the place where everything changed. She thinks about the last 72 hours, the fear, the doubt, the tremor in her hands, but also the lives saved, the apologies, the second chances, and she realizes something. She's not broken. She never was. She was just waiting for the moment when she'd be needed again. And now that moment is here. Tara's voice breaks her thoughts. So, Venezuela. What's the plan? Diana pulls out the folder, opens it. Photos, maps, intel, 200 passengers, hostile airfield, armed guards, impossible odds. She looks at Tara. The plan is simple. We go in, we get them out, we don't leave anyone behind. Tara grins. Sounds like a Tuesday. Diana smiles. Yeah, it does. She closes the folder, looks ahead. The sky is wide open. And for the first time in 7 years, Diana West knows exactly where she's going. Forward. Final image. The C-130 climbs higher. The sun breaks over the horizon. Golden light floods the cockpit. On the console between Diana and Tara sits the coin. 416th Flight Test Squadron. Spectre lives. And on the radio, faint but clear, a voice. Spectre 19er. This is command. Target is locked. You have go for mission. Good hunting. Diana keys the mic. Copy command. Spectre is en route. She glances at Tara. You ready for this? Tara nods. With you always. Diana pushes the throttles forward. The plane,